Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So, according to XRP Crypto Wolf, Ledger has just confirmed that we're definitely in a bull market. We want to reassure you that your order is being prepared and will be shipped to you within the next few days. We will make sure to confirm the shipment with a new email. We are currently doing everything necessary to respond as quickly as possible to the very high demand for all Ledger products, because we're definitely in a bull market. I feel like it's like those people who come back from vacation and forget to change their auto reply in their email. But I mean, hey, maybe Ledger has had an influx of customers wanting to purchase the Ledger Nano, especially now when we know, many countries around the world are regulating crypto, focusing on exchanges specifically because they are the on and off ramps for you to make money. And so, I mean, if you guys still don't have one, I have an affiliate link in the description of the video. You can use it if you want. I don't want to push people to use my link, but, I felt like I kind of needed a little bit of comedy relief this morning because I'm very skeptical that we are in a bull market right now. Right now, XRP is trading at about 41.5 cents. And although, in ways I don't feel like we are necessarily 100% bearish either, we are certainly not bullish. We have maintained, now today is June the 1st, and we have closed above this point here, okay, from back, coincidentally, about a year ago, from June of 2021. By the way, this is Bitcoin on the daily, and Bitcoin is holding at about $31,500 right now. So it is above that $30,000 mark, that psychological level where buyers and sellers have felt like, okay, this is a good price for Bitcoin to exchange hands at. So we are up above that level, and if I just bring it on the monthly real quickly, you can see, let me just bring this over. You can see we did close above that level there. So we're starting the month off today a bit red. Nevertheless, take a look at that candlestick. Take a look at that volume compared to the last several months where we've seen very, very low volume for Bitcoin. Even as far back as July of 2021. This has been the highest level of volume that we've seen since then. And although we did see a red candlestick, we are witnessing what is looking to me like a reversal pattern with a long wick and a shorter body. So, that just means price went all the way down and then finally capped out. I mean, we didn't close above the month's open. Nevertheless, it is still momentum in the right direction, as we've, even noticed ourselves here on the chart. We did see a bit of a pump for Bitcoin, still a ways away from officially calling this a bullish market. Nevertheless, the momentum is moving in the right direction. And I wanted to bring you guys this from Tim at TimR614 here on Twitter. Charles Gasparino making his rounds on Fox Business. Listen to this.
About that under Gensler, and we're getting this from multiple sources inside the SEC. These are people that are staff attorneys. They work in the enforcement division and elsewhere. And it's not just the union that's chafing under him. It's the attorneys, the people that run the place are chafing. They're saying that his management style, brusque, demanding, unflinching. His workload, I mean, he's doing everything from cracking down on crypto to ESG to you name it. This has a very expansive regulatory agenda that this is leading to massive amounts of departures, even more so than in the past.
So massive departures, even more so than in the past. Kenwood Capital bringing us the article here written by Eleanor Turret and Charles Gasparino with regards to this. So some more details here, naming the people who have actually exited the SEC because of what they're assuming is Gary Gensler's leadership style. So latest to hit the exit are 3 senior officials with nearly 50 years collective tenure at the agency. And they are Christina Littman, head of the Crypto Assets and Cyber Unit, who spent nearly 12 years at the SEC. Jennifer Leety, associate director in the Division of Enforcement, who was with the agency for 23 years. And Adam Adderton, co-chief of the Division of Enforcement's Asset Management Unit, a 14-year SEC veteran. So note this, this person in crypto assets and the cyber unit specifically, of course, we know Gary Gensler's stance on cryptocurrency. Also, the Division of Enforcement, they are looking to enforce, instead of giving a clear framework on, for example, cryptocurrency clarity. And then the Division of Enforcement's Asset Management Unit as well, Adam Adderson. Wall Street lawyers who have served with the agency say turnover is almost unprecedented at the commission, known as a blue chip government regulator where people work on high profile matters. Here is a quote down here. There's always some turnover with a change in administrations, but the loss of so much experience in such a short time is usually bound to hamper the agency's enforcement efforts at a time when Gensler wants to be seen as tough, an SEC enforcement veteran tells Fox Business. So this is the reality of the SEC. People are leaving left, right, and center because they do not want this a-hole as a boss. Probably because of the way he has been handling matters, especially with regards to the cryptocurrency market. Stefan Hubert just bringing this up. That's why it is significant. So he's talking about the SEC case, William Hinman, ETHgate. It is the day after the SEC met Andreessen Horowitz, for whom Hinman now works for, and who at the time called for Ether to be classified as a utility token and not a security. That was also the turning point at which Clayton suddenly changed course. So this was a CoinDesk article back from 2018. The group included the two largest venture capital firms in the virtual currency industry, Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures. It also included lawyers from Cooley, Perkins Coie, and McDermott Will Emery. The people involved in the effort said the group met with the SEC in Washington on March the 28th. Note that date there, guys, to present their idea for a safe harbor that would allow some tokens to be categorized as utility tokens rather than securities. An SEC spokesman declined to comment on the meeting. And then also down here, Jay Clayton, the chairman of the SEC at that time, has said in recent months that he believes almost every token issued through an initial coin offering should be registered as a security. So why, on March 28th, did they decide to present their idea for a safe harbor that would allow only some tokens to be categorized as utility tokens? And then Jay Clayton says, he changes courses. He says initial coin offerings, or ICOs, those all should be considered securities. And so this puts into question, what we've been talking about with Ethereum. Of course, the Twitter sleuths in the XRP community have been uncovering lots of damning information that would implicate the SEC to favor Ethereum, to give them a free pass in the industry. And then so just over here, the SEC chairman went on to argue that the steps taken by the agency in recent months could actually help the industry mature overall. And then so the utility token debate is just kind of highlighted down here as well. I will link this in the description of the video if you guys are interested. So Stefan also just retweeted out John Deaton's tweet here. After a quick perusal, something jumped out at me. The SEC says XRP first appeared on its watch list on March the 29th, 2018. Why is this significant? Listen to this, guys. March 26, 2018 is the date of the Perkins Coie memo and safe harbor, which only mentions Ethereum. On March 28th, 2018, Hinman met with Perkins Coie, that law firm, and an EEA member working group asking for the free pass. And then guess what happened? The next day after the meeting, XRP is on the watch list. Coincidence? My ass, says John Deaton here. So, he's just putting the pieces of the puzzle together and realizing how shady this really is. Not that we didn't think it was shady before. But that's some new information gleaned here from the Twitter sleuths, uncovering more observations about the Ethereum Foundation, the SEC, why they would decide to classify XRP as one thing and Ethereum as something else. So some great digging there. Wanted to thank Stefan Hubert and John Deaton for pointing those things out. Wanted to switch gears a little bit, guys. Algorand, okay? Algorand is now seeing record volume inflows. This coming from XRP Crypto Wolf. According to digital asset management firm CoinShares, Algorand-based institutional investment products had a record-breaking $20 million in inflows in the preceding week. According to Chinese crypto journalist Colin Wu, this could be linked to the Algorand blockchain's recent launches. So here's Wu Blockchain tweeting this out. Digital asset investment projects saw an inflow totaling about $87 million US last week, pushing year-to-date inflows just past a $500 million mark. And Algorand saw record inflows last week totaling about $20 million US, likely triggered by new product launches. So we are seeing a lot of money flowing through the Algorand blockchain. Some of the recent launches, the Nigerian government recently signed an exclusive IPR, or intellectual property rights agreement, with the Developing Africa Group to launch a national wallet that will allow for the international commercialization of all IP forms created and registered in the country, both locally and internationally. The Developing Africa Group has picked Coinbank, so we did talk about that the other week, as the country's tokenization and payment engine, with the Algorand blockchain as the protocol protocol on which it will be built. So that's just one thing that they integrated with. Algorand also just made an undisclosed investment in Flex ID. So talked about that this past week as well. All these little updates are just pieces to the puzzle as to why we are seeing this inflow grow on the Algorand blockchain. So some interesting news there. Also wanted to bring this up, guys, from FOMO at short the FOMO on Twitter. I love that handle, by the way. Pretty close to month closing out. This has to do with the XRPL. Okay, about 2.5 billion. Off 40 billion moved for the month. That is just nuts. That's almost 50% of all XRP in existence. And for those of you guys not familiar with this is from 3xrp.dev. This is an analytics website that brings us all the XRPL data that is happening in some cases in real time. So here's just a graph just demonstrating some of those numbers in the last month. Volume exchanged in XRP, we're seeing about 50-50 now, as per short the FOMO. He continues on by saying another way of putting it is basically all of the circulating supply. So that means XRP, guys, is liquid. Roughly 50% is moving, and that is exactly what Ripple wants. David down here asking, what does this graph data say? So just to better understand this, Wrath of Kahneman does give us a good synopsis here. The data shows the volume of XRP exchanged through the course of a month at Gateway. Approximately 20 billion flowed in and another 20 billion flowed out. So that's basically 50-50 exchange. A volume of almost 40 billion moved in 1 month. This number, 40 billion, also happens to be roughly the amount of XRP left in escrow, which is also roughly about 50% of the XRP in total supply. So he is saying that there is a lot of XRP in the ecosystem being utilized. You think they're testing XRP or running warm-ups with the escrow. Reminds me of when the exchanges would have glitches. That doesn't happen anymore. How can so much volume be happening with XRP without any price movement? This doesn't add up to me. And then Wrath of Kahneman responds, no, I only mention escrow as a reference to size. Notice in the graphs that inflows are matched by outflows. ODL has both a buy and a sell side, so the price doesn't move much. The spread is what is the slight inflationary mechanism here. And so if you guys remember, Wrath of Kahneman did do a thread on that back in March. So interesting news. And for those of you guys who want to see that resource, check that out. You can see the visualization here. I will also link this link in the description. It's 3xrp.dev. That's the website. And over here you can see there are different metrics. You can sign in with your Sum wallet, can glean some interesting data from this. And again, I will put it in the description of the video for those of you guys interested. The reason I say this is because this also came up. Now, this was a tweet from Real XRP Boy, and this was David Schwartz responding to this question on Quora from about a year ago. Since XRP is working alongside the established financial system, is it plausible that the U.S. Federal Reserve may take ownership of XRP and the Ripple network, becoming XRP a kind of digital USD? So this was at a time when, rumors were circulating that, the Fed would commandeer the XRPL and make it be what they see as fit for their purposes. But David Schwartz quelled the fears here a little bit. They could take possession of Ripple's private network, but there's really no way that they could take possession of XRP or the XRP ledger. It's a public resource operated by people all over the globe. They could create their own copy of the system. Now, this is where I find it gets interesting. They can make their own copy of the system just as they could with any other public ledger system. But then they'd have to compete with systems like Bitcoin and the XRP ledger. If the value of these systems comes from their decentralization, then why would people want to use one owned by the Federal Reserve? The design of public blockchain systems makes a lot of engineering sacrifices precisely to ensure that they can't be taken over or censored. They have no administrative functions. It wouldn't make sense to take over an existing system and completely destroy its value proposition. So back to this second paragraph, they could create their own copy of the system, just as they could with any other public blockchain ledger system, but then they'd have to compete with systems like Bitcoin and the XRP ledger. So creating their own copy of the system is one thing. I mean, they could basically have a carbon copy of something that already works. But, just back to FOMO here, at short, the FOMO's point is that they would not have the liquidity. And guys, this is why Ripple has been focusing on liquidity. Liquidity is going to be one of those key factors that make the network valuable. And we're seeing that liquidity being built more and more every single day. You need to have the XRP flowing there on the XRPL for ODL, just as one example, and of course many other purposes as well. So wanted to thank at Short the FOMO here. Also wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf and of course XRP or Real XRP Boy here on Twitter for posting all that. Stefan Hubert bringing this up, guys. This is the latest from the Ripple SEC case. So just going back to the case, retweeted out James K. Filan's tweet here. Conference is now scheduled for Tuesday, June the 7th, 2022 at 3 p.m. to discuss the SEC's renewed assertion of the attorney-client privilege as to internal documents related to Hinman's June 14th, 2018 speech. And apparently this conference is taking place in the flesh. Happening at this location here in New York. All parties are required to comply with the court's most recent beer flu safety guidance, including courtroom and entry protocols. So it's going to be in person, this one. JV down here saying, or I guess, by the way, I should mention what Stefan Hubert writes here. He says it took her 2 weeks to decide it needed a conference in 1 week. JV down here saying, cut her some slack. She probably just made it back to the Ripple case again this week and realized her patience is getting tried by the SEC. Stefan Hubert saying, nope. If she has so many other cases, then, well, the SEC is ignoring her orders on Hinman for over a year now. Our patience is wearing thin in the XRP community, and we are also hoping that the judges' patience are wearing thin as well with regards to the SEC's complete and utter incompetence. Jeremy Hogan here mentioning this, nothing like a good old-fashioned in-person hearing to get the blood moving. So, we are now focusing on June the 7th. What is going to happen at 3 p.m. on June the 7th, guys? Are we going to get some more information? Is it going to expedite the case? Are we going to see perhaps a settlement happen sooner? James Hill down here saying, Mr. Hogan, what do you think about all this? And Jeremy Hogan responds, I thought through some possibilities, but the most obvious is the SEC's argument on what Hinman's speech was. Personal opinion, ? Division, guidance, SEC's position is so unbelievably squirrely that she wants to try and lock the SEC down on what their argument is for the record. So that's the thing, right? The judge is not stupid. She wants to get a response. She wants to get a result. She wants to get something on the record where the SEC says, okay, finally, this is what he meant by this, and that is our final answer. Is that your final answer? Yeah, that's our final answer. You guys remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I don't even know if that's still on the air or not. So it could be a tactic, it could be a strategy for the judge to finally kind of nail them down and get them to commit to one answer. Adam the Donkey down here saying, would we get to find out what will be said at such a conference? Jeremy Hogan responding down here, I assume, as she has in the past, the judge will allow public access. Whether that's in person or a call-in number, I do not know. If we can't call in, I might have to make a trip to New York. So Jeremy Hogan might be going to the conference. As I said before, the conference is going to be, or conference, I guess it is called a conference here. The conference shall take place in person in New York City, 500 Pearl Street. So who knows now, because the beer flu is mostly behind us, are we going to have more in-person meetings for these court hearings, for these court proceedings? Are they going to let the XRP community call in anymore? Is there going to still be a line for that? Interesting question, because, this has created something that, I'm sure in the past has not really happened, because there are so many XRP hodlers around the world. It was easy and convenient for us to be able to call in and listen to the court proceedings. Even if we were not located in New York City, we could still partake. And so now, because things are different, are they going to keep the same protocols in? Of course, that would benefit us. Or are they going to go back to what they were doing before the pandemic? Silver Surfer asking, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy Hogan, many moons ago, you might have nominated June as a possible settlement date. And Jeremy Hogan responding, yes, May, which is already gone now, June, July, and August. So that is his time frame now for a possible settlement. After that, I would assume it's going all the way, which would mean, guys, that this case would be going to trial, to a jury. And so, are they going to settle? Will June, July, or August? Are we going to see a summer settlement? And of course, if we do see a summer settlement, that would, I think, for all intents and purposes, line up quite nicely with what we are seeing now, consolidating June, July, and August before we see a verdict, bringing XRP price up with it. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.